Time to see what the wizards are up to.
Hey everyone, how are you? Hope you're doing good today. It's nice to see everyone here. We have a few things to cover today, and as always, we will take any questions that come in via chat, no matter how difficult questions they are for Rob. Rob will take all the questions.
You can always, hard questions for Debbie are also welcome.
I hope everyone had a happy Valentine's Day, whether or not you celebrate. I got some roses.
Yes, indeed.
And we actually played some games with another couple this weekend. That was fun. And we actually went out to eat, which we very rarely do this weekend. So that was kind of nice. The restaurant was totally empty, so that was good. Anyways, let's move on to our stuff. So congratulations to Chad C. You have won this amazing Enforcer mech playmat. Our support team will reach out to you and get your info. Every week we do a giveaway. It can be located anywhere in the world. Our current giveaway for this coming week is Kapow Volume 2. So this one has Reverb, who's here. We actually created a little Valentine with her that said, "You rock my world," I think, or something. Nice. Yeah, there's actually 2 music-themed characters in Volume 2 and lots of other really awesome characters too. Kapow is awesome. You always say, "Oh yeah, this game's so easy, you could play it with your mother." I haven't yet, but I am going to play Kapow with my mother because she was interested when the Kickstarter was running, and I'm like, it's actually very easy to teach someone how to play. And for people like Rob, you can still be very competitive, and beat my mom if he wants to. But yeah, that is our game with the dice that you can add or remove faces to, and it's a dueling game where you're trying to beat down your opponent, which if you like our other games, you probably like that kind of game. So we actually we've been doing a lot of play testing, but I actually asked the team, okay, can you snap a couple pictures of some of the play testing? And in this case, they're play testing Kapow 2-player against 2. So it's 2v2, but the 2 opponents they're using the AI solo back of the board. So you want to talk
so this is so one of the things you can do with Kapow, we have added solo play, so you can play against any of the heroes or villains. You can play against them. There's a automated play on the back, so you can play your hero or villain normally, and you can play against the bad guy playing as an automated player. So there's solo play and a ton of different ways you can play, because every single matchup you can play in the solo play version. We've also have a co-op mode where basically if you have 2 sets, because you need basically a lot of dice to pull this off, you and a friend can team up together and play against 2 AIs, and you get to use the team up cards for your team, and so you can have that sort of cool cooperative strategy where you're working together with a friend and you're trying to figure out the best strategy to beat your AI opponents, and you can do any of the matchups in the game because there's the AI versions for all the different characters. So that's something where we've got the updated rules for in the Kapow rulebook, and we're doing testing and making sure that all that that play goes smoothly. So that's something that our backers had been asking about, and that is something that we're making sure we've got added into the rulebook for the printing. Speaking of printing, we are basically finalizing a printing schedule with the printer currently, and as soon as we have those dates, we'll be doing a Kickstarter update, letting you guys know when games will be done and on shipments. We have some additional Kapow stuff here. We've updated. So if you backed both sets, you're going to be getting the mega hero and the mega villain. So we've got Sawmill Jackson, who's a mega villain. One player can play this character and play against two players playing regular heroes or villains. And Sawmill was he has been moved from the original version of Kapow, and but we've updated him to match the changes that we've made to the regular player board, where we basically made attacks a little more powerful, defenses giving you faces more frequently, trying to balance out the flow of the game that we did when the changes from the first edition Kapow to the current edition. So Sawmill Jackson has been updated for that, and to balance out the mega villain, we also have the mega hero, which is Porcupine. And so this is a new design that we had for this Kickstarter. Porcupine's really fun. Basically, he gets better during the battle. Every round, you're gonna get to choose an improvement for Porcupine. You can increase the power of his bite attack. Basically, so each round you can either improve the power of his bite, improve the defensiveness of his burrow, or you can basically improve his quills. So with your evolve power, after power up each round, you're going to be doing one of those improvements. So to improve the bite, you take a might counter from the pool and put it onto that bite board, and it'll give +1 attack for each might face you have on there. So it starts out, the bite is a kicker that gives you +2 attack for 1 might die. So pretty reasonable. But as the game progresses, if you put additional, if you've improved that, if you've evolved that, the bite will get more and more powerful, +1 damage for each face you have on there. The burrow, same thing defensively. 2 defense kicker for 1 agility, and you can make it more powerful through the course of the game by evolving it. And every time you evolve it, you grab a shield from the pool and you put it onto there, making it a more powerful defense. You also Porcupine has these quill defenses. So basically, when people attack him, they'll get damaged by these quills. He has the ability to put his quills out, and when his quills are out, anybody attacks him takes 2 points, loses 2 points of health. You can, with your evolve, you could also lock in the quills out. So basically, you wouldn't have to spend an X factor to activate it. You can sharpen his quills. So basically, the health loss gets bigger for each time you put a locked in counter on the sharpened quills. You can make barbed quills, where basically when someone attacks them, they get basically quills stuck in them and it slows them down. And you use one of the entangle counters like elusivity uses, and those go onto the person, reducing the power of their attack until they pay energy to break out of it. We also have, you can also evolve all the way to the nasty barbed quills, where basically a person who has those quills stuck in them will take some bleeding damage at the end of the round. They haven't gotten rid of them. So that is that's Porcupine, our new mega hero, and we've been doing, our team's been doing some testing on that. We've also been doing testing on Robot Quest Arena. We've got all the sets are now designed for Robot Quest Arena, all the Kickstarter exclusives, etc. And here you can see doing some play testing. Notice though, there's just a lot of stuff that's sort of in paper form in this particular play test. It's the play testing versions often don't look as pretty as the finals, but we've been doing testing on all kinds of on all the expansion packs. And we have some edits we've been making to the base game based on player feedback. One of the pieces of feedback we got was that the victory points on the non-combat cards were a little bit too high. Maybe they were a little too easy to get victory points in that fashion, and so we've tweaked down the victory points on a couple of the basic cards. So, for example, 3D printing originally gave you 3 victory points, or you could acquire a card of cost 3 or less. Still get a card of cost 3 or less, but now it gives you 2 victory points if you choose the victory point option. We've made a similar change to Optimize. So Optimize gave you 3 victory points, and you could thin a card out of your deck, hand or discard pile. And now it's been nerfed down to 2. And then we've got a bunch of other small changes to cards. So, for example, Tackle, we're clarifying that you're pushing the robot 1 space without moving your robot, where previously we had said push, and push is sort of defined in the game as you move into their square and push them away. So, Tackle, you're knocking them away without moving. So clarifying that. And then here's another example of change, although this one is another power level change. So Pneumatic Piston was a little bit underpowered. So we've this does 1 damage in hand-to-hand to a robot that's next to you. Previously, it allowed you to draw 1 and discard 1. We've buffed this up to a draw 2, discard 2. So the Pneumatic Piston's much better at moving through your deck quickly. And on Robot Quest Arena, basically we've got we're working on getting the miniatures finalized, and then those take the longest of all the components. So once the miniatures are finalized, we're going to be moving to printing all the rest of the components. So we're just making those sort of final tweaks now on all those various components. So that's that is where we're at on Robot Quest Arena. Sorry, we're having a little technical
struggling with
there.
my mouse.
All right, and I'll jump into Sorcery in a second. Let's see if we have any questions.
So, there was Topio had questions basically that we really need a Sorcerer Endbringer update on Kickstarter, which I know you have been working on. Yep. So if you can comment on that. And then there was a question about the Kapow pledge manager. So I'm updating the shipping information on that, but that should be going out soon. So we had it ready to go. So we're working on that, and we would also like to get it out very soon. So I know people are eager to get that. So Rob, do you want to give us an update on Sorcerer Endbringer?
Sure. So basically, we got as people know, a while back we put all the character lineage domain packs up on Tabletop Simulator. Then more recently we put Endbringer up on Tabletop Simulator, and basically gave you guys till like mid-January to sort of play, kick the tires, let us know, give us feedback. We got a ton of great feedback from backers, and like many pages of notes. And Peter and I have done a bunch of meetings where we went through every piece of feedback we got from everybody, and figured out, okay, is this a scenario where we need clarification in the rule book? Is this a thing where we need to did we have just an error on a card, or is it a scenario where we need to make some changes? And basically we have tons and tons of like little edits that we've made to the game, and we've given those to the graphic design team, and we're in the process of working through those edits currently. So for example, here is a card that was just causing some confusion. This Gift from Underworld, this is a Nemesis deck card, and it was putting a boon counter on each of 3 enemy cultist cards. So a couple issues. One, it had the cross swords on it. It should not. Cross swords are means battlefield specific, so that means it's affecting battlefields only where the Nemesis avatar is. So it's those 2 battlefields. In this case, it's affecting cultists which are outside of that zone. So that was just an error on the original card. So we've of course removed the cross swords. And then we were having rules questions come up of, okay, well, what if there's only 1 cultist, or what if there's 2 cultists? If there's 1 cultist, do I put 3 counters on it? How do I handle it? So basically, we're trying to have clearer text. So in this case, put 1 boon counter on each of 3 enemy cultists, or on each enemy cultist if there's only 1 or 2 in play. So basically, it's just 1 boon counter each on 3 cultists, or as many cultists as there are out there. So basically, making these types of edits across the cards to basically correct any errors and to make the implementation of the cards clearer. We also had a major change to how we're handling the scenario cards. Basically, our general method of communication on what was happening on the scenario cards in Endbringer was to sort of list effects and which rounds those effects took place. It was a little confusing and hard to track. So what we've done is we've made it so that you can track through your scenario card using one of the little wooden cubes. You put it on round 1 at the beginning of the game, and at the end of the round, you do the round 1 effect. And then you move the cube to round 2. Then at the end of round 2, you'll do the effect there, etc. And you'll move the cube down so you'll know exactly where you are in the game and exactly what effects are happening each round. This is an example of how the Arming the Horde card changed. We actually got a tweak to round 4 on this. I just gave Adam where we're going to be making an additional correction to that card. But basically, you get the idea. It's we're making it so that the scenario card, you track it each round, you'll move it forward so you'll know exactly where you are, and you'll know exactly what effects are happening during that round. So I have an update that I'm actually working on currently. Paul has to come down and do this, but basically, I've got an update that's showing that information. We're also doing some giving more options on the difficulty level. I won't go a ton into that on this update, but we'll have an update in a little while with details on that. But basically, some players were finding even the easy mode too hard, and obviously there's a Sorcery is a game where you can have a really, really wide skill differential. And you want to make sure that players who are newer and haven't cranked out as many Sorcerer games can have a mode in the Endbringer, which is the right challenge for them. So we're adding some things that will allow you to fine tune the difficulty to match, give you a great challenge, whatever skill level you have to be at.
Thank you. And I wanted to, well, you can talk about this.
So this is a new promo card for Star Realms, the Stingray. Obviously a beat down aggressive blob card giving you 5 combat for 2 with an awesome scrap ability. So this is like the Ram's little brother. So I'll give you 5 combat and you can scrap it to gain 2 trade. This promo card we're gonna have is gonna be first available at the Gamma Trade Show. That's a show where basically it's retailers come and they can see manufacturers like Wise Wizard Games and also other industry professionals come. And any store that comes by our booth will get one of these promo cards. And if they're a member of our retailer program, they can sign up for free. We'll give them a whole pack of them so they can come back and they can distribute them among their players, either as cookies you get when you buy some products, or whatever, or maybe they run an event for it, whatever way they want to give them away. So that card we're going to have as first available at Gamma, and we'll have some additional ways to get it down the road. I'm not sure if that's
yeah, we will do some giveaways so that people who don't have a local game store near them or live in other countries have the ability to win one, and then we will over time put them onto the board. I'm expecting we'll put them onto the Board Game Geek store, but we'll have another way for you to get those as well.
And of course, like with all our promo cards, we will eventually make different art versions of them. So for example, Star Realms has the promo pack 1. We're actually working on promo pack 1 for Hero Realms and a promo pack 2 for Star Realms. But basically, cards that are exclusive promos are exclusive for a little while, and then we make new artwork for them and put them into promo packs so that everybody can get access to them from a place perspective. But the exclusive version you got at the convention or whatnot will always be identifiable by its original artwork.
So that was everything we were planning to cover today. We aren't getting a lot of questions today. I'm having a little bit of issue with the comments showing up here.
I know we had a little bit of trouble getting onto our Facebook feed, so that may
I posted onto the Star Realms Facebook page because we had some kind of error with the Wise Wizard Games page, but okay, so Tapio would like a timeline with production. So this is feedback for your update.
So yeah, basically, unfortunately,
for Sorcerer and Bringer, just to be clear.
Sure. So unfortunately, these are always question mark issues where I wish I could give like exact answers. We're going to start on this date and we'll be done on that date. But basically, it's a question which we give to the factory. We're like, okay, give us dates, and then and sometimes the answers are flexible. So basically, if this on Sorcerer, basically we're making these edits, we're reviewing them, then we're going to be submitting those to the printer, and then the printer will tell us what the dates are, basically when they can get us into the printing schedule and their estimate on when it's going to be done. So the unfortunate answer to that question is I don't know yet. So, and as soon as I have those answers, I'll put them in the update.
Okay, great. Well, we don't have any other questions, so you can go back and work on your but thanks everyone for joining. And again, you can bring any questions you want every week, and like I said, we'll take the hard questions too. And we really appreciate you coming and joining. And we know that multiple of our Kickstarters are running late, and we're sorry about that. I know that people have been extremely patient waiting for their games, so we appreciate that. But I know they're anxious to get this done. So Peter, if you're watching, we got to get this out. All right, thanks everyone. We'll see you next week.